Well, it's kind of interesting. I was, a month or two ago, was traveling with some of my Republican friends, and we were helping build the case for Finland and Sweden's movement into NATO. We'd been in Finland, we'd been in Turkey, and you know, gas in Finland is about $10 a gallon. And I kind of said, this is all due to Joe Biden as well. And some of my Republican friends kind of laughed at that. I mean, clearly we've got high inflation. And I think the Fed, and I think the administration, and I think, frankly, most business leaders got this wrong a year plus ago when we thought it was simply transitory. But the causation of this inflation, and a whole series of factors, but two of the biggest, is the war in Ukraine, where that has cut off supplies of Russian oil and gas to the world markets. And we do need to find alternatives because we need to make sure that Putin is not successful in that war. And secondarily, the kind of complete lockdown approach that China took with COVID. When you shut down a country that is as large as China, that screws up the supply chains and drives up costs. And one of the reasons why I think whether it's semiconductor chips or some other legislation I'll be introducing, we need to make sure that we are not dependent on the future as much on Chinese supply chain. In terms of the actions of the Fed, I do think the most powerful tool that can be used against inflation, and this is whether it's a Democratic president or a Republican president, is slowly raising interest rates. And I think the Fed waited too long. And this is as much an art as it is a science. So I think it's probably appropriate that the Fed raise interest rates today to kind of put a little bit of a brakes on the economy, to make money more expensive. Will we fall into a recession? I think that we are trying to navigate it so far, at least. Even if this quarter shows some slowing of economic growth, I mean, I'm a pretty old guy at this point. I've lived through a lot of recessions. I've never seen a recession where there's as strong a job market as there is right now. So the technical definition I'll leave to the economists. As long as we see 250, 350, 400,000 a month job growth, and that's strong a job market, I don't think we're going to be in a full classic recession, even if the definitions of a recession are met. So I think we all, I wish some of my colleagues would be more about, promoting growth policies rather than simply criticizing the administration, because I didn't hear a lot of them, a year and a half ago saying we ought to raise interest rates. And again, I go back to President Trump, who literally beat up the Fed on a regular basis to try to push interest rates down to get easy money into the economy. And I don't hear them criticizing his economic policies. And the challenge around a recession is, in economics, some of it is science. I said some of it is art in terms of how the Fed raises rates, but some of it is so much of it is psychological. And if you have people banging the drum, recession, 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 it becomes in many ways a self-fulfilling prophecy. And maybe that's good for short-term politics for some in this country, but it's not good for the economic well-being of Virginians and Americans.